Hello, this is Mary Bush with Stampin' in the Sand. Thank you for joining me today as we create our Bohemian card purse that holds our Bohemian Crazy About You Card Class to Go set of cards. If you've been following my card class, you'll see that we have created 4 cards. The people that subscribed to my card class by mail, they received all the supplies to make 2 of each of these cards. Just saying hello, hello, celebrating you, thanks from all of us. And I've also created thinking of you, just hello, thanks for being you, and happy birthday. So these card purses, you've probably seen them all over Pinterest. Perhaps you've seen them on YouTube. They were originally created by a demonstrator in England. I believe that we're calling them the Hallett bags. I hope I've got that right. If I don't, I will change it. When I produce the video, I will put the correction in my description. But anyways, these are really cute bags. Actually, if you can see, I've just put 8 cards and 4 envelopes in my bag, and I could probably fit 4 more envelopes in here quite easily. So you could actually give all 8 cards and envelopes created in my card class to go as a gift in this cute little bag. But let's get started on creating our bag. Put that aside for now. So what you're going to need, first of all, is a strip of designer series paper. The paper that we have used in my card class is the Bohemian Designer Series paper stack from Stampin' Up. I have a 3.5 by 12 inch piece of the designer series paper. I'm just going to recreate the same bag I had here and use the zigzag print. You're going to need a 2.5 inch by 5.25 inch piece of cardstock that coordinates with your designer series paper. You're going to want to score it at a 1/2 inch on all sides, cut in from the long ends, and adhere some adhesive on the inside corners here, these inside flaps. And I've chosen the Tear and Tape, the new Tear and Tape by Stampin' Up. I love this tape. It's really flexible and has a lot of give to it. And it's also very simple to tear off as little or as much as you need. So that's the Tear and Tape. You also need 2 3/8 inch strips by 6 inch, let me start over. 2 3 1/8 inch by 6 inch strips of the same color cardstock for your handles. So we're going to use those. Then you're going to need 3 1/2 inch by 12 inch strips of the same color cardstock. And this is going to be for the banding around the top and the bottom of your bag. So how do we put this all together? Well, for starters, you're going to have your corners snipped here, and you're going to have your adhesive in your 4 corners. Next, you're going to flip over your designer series paper, and on what will be the inside of your bag, you are going to want to put more of your Tear and Tape, sticky strip, glue, whatever you're going to be using for your bag, along the bottom and one edge. Then you're going to want to use the same adhesive, and you're going to want to apply it to the back of all of your 12 inch strips. Okay, so now that we have all that ready to go and prepped, we can start assembling our bag. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, if you're using the Tear and Tape or the sticky strip, you're going to want to remove the backing from the adhesive. I'm trying to use my tweezers. I usually use my piercing tool for this, but I didn't have them ready. And you're going to want to adhere these corners on the outside of your box. Okay, which is something that's unusual if you're used to putting together boxes. Usually we put the adhesive corners on the inside. So there's that. Okay, so next we'll put the designer paper around our bag bottom. Remove my strip, and you're going to want to start about halfway from the center, or in the center of your box. Okay, lay it flat, and then you're just going to want to roll it, and actually I'm going to have to do it this way. Roll it along the bottom, trying to keep your edges straight. But without creasing your corners, because you want that nice rounded side. So just keep rolling. And then join it up there. And then you can join your edges together there. So as you can see, here's my seam on this one. I did a little bit better job of centering it on this one. And then you can just run your fingers along and make sure that's good and adhered. Next, you'll take one of your strips, and we're gonna, oops, getting some of the tape, remove that from there, and I'll start along the bottom of my box. And cover up the bottom of the designer series paper. And then when I get to the back, I'll have an overlap. Okay, so now I have my base, just like this one. Then we're going to come in, actually I think I'll use this one. That one has a gap in the tape. I'm going to remove this strip from there. And again, we're going to line up with the edge of our designer series paper. And just follow it around in a circle. And that's a little crooked. And actually I'm going to have to come in with a little bit of tear and tape. It looks like I didn't go all the way to the edge. Actually, I want that little piece. All right. Looks like I didn't quite go all the way to the edge back here. So you want to make sure you go all the way to the edge. Okay, so now we have the top and the bottom completed. The next thing I'm going to do is add my handles. I'm going to bring in my bone folder and curl the paper to take some of the stiffness out of it so that it'll be more malleable for when I go to put it on as handles. And then you'll see here, I'm going to set my handles. I need to see where I want to put them. Try to center them the best I can. And I'm coming in with a crocodile to cut my holes. Let's see. So I'm thinking there. And there. This is probably the whoops, that's a little off. This is probably the most difficult part of the whole entire box, believe it or not. Then I'll come in with my strip and punch holes as I did there. And then I'm going to come in with some large brads. And these will hold my handles in place and look pretty. And then give it a twist. Line that up. Grab another brad. And there my there's one handle. Flip it over and try my best to line that up the same as I did on the other side. Now if I wanted to take the time, I could measure it to make sure I was exactly the same distance with both handles, but for the sake of time on the video, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so then I'm going to come in and put in my second handle, and I want to twist the tines here so that they're going lengthwise. I don't know if you can see that inside there. Can you see that? Okay, and then give this a twist and line up my holes. Put in my brad, open up my tines to hold it. I don't know if you can see down in there what I'm doing. Okay, so now my handles are on. All right, so now we're going to bring in our very last strip. Sorry about the shadow. It's a very cloudy day today, and the light is not the best. However, this was a good time for me to shoot this video, or today was a good day for me to shoot this video, I suppose I should say. So sometimes you have to strike while the timing is good, even though the lighting is bad. Okay, so now we're going to put the inside. I don't know if you can see this, but we have to put the inside wrap so that we cover up those tines from our handles. So I'm going to lay that inside and just work my way around, which is harder to do in front of a camera or under a camera than you would imagine, because I really don't want to go uphill with this wrap. I want to keep it level with the top of my bag. So straighten out my handles. Okay, So there she is. There is our card purse, all completed and ready to fill with our cards. So I can bring back in my cards and split them up. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. And then we have 4 envelopes here. That's all I had prepared before I sat down, so this one won't have envelopes for the sake of the video. But anyways, so there you have it. There is our card purse step-by-step tutorial. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and thank you for stopping in to stamp with me today. Or actually, we didn't do any stamping, did we? But anyways, thank you for stopping in to paper craft with me, and I hope to stamp and craft with you soon. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye.